Hey guys, eman here, and guys, do you feel that? It feels cold. Too cold. Like it's a season review. And I know you guys can't handle it, so just take a deep breath and feel, because last time on Fortnite, we had some downtime in Battlewood, but there was just one anonymous threat. I said anonymous? What the? Ominous threat over the island, and that was the Dark Voyager. Throughout the months, he was going in and out of reality to rebuild the broken 0 point from the events that transpired in the Big Bang. By the end of all of this, the Dark Voyager used the Dark Harvester to fire a laser at the 0 point in order to create pure portals to find these shards, starting in the next few days for Fortnite Chapter 7 Season 2 Showdown. This Fortnite season had to step on up to the plate from the great foundation Pacific Break had set for Chapter 7, and this season can be considered a mixed bag in a lot of aspects due to factors both inside and outside of the game. This season, depending on who you ask, is a make or break season for the entire game. But I like to talk about the entire game no matter what in the most funniest, stupidest way possible. So just like last retrospective, let's talk about the most insignificant part of the season in general, the Battle Pass. Wait, has the cutting off curse finally gone away? I'm free! I'm free! Exalted Ice King. Holy peak, this is an amazing tier 1 skin, and most of the styles are amazing, and the set is pretty swagger if I do say so myself. They also gave me a brand new child, so say hello to little Chudster. He's so quirky. Squibbly, second favorite skin, is so good. Fortnite has been killing it with the joke skins lately. I have been loving him. Also, I really like his rivalry on Fish Stick. I just wish he put that energy onto Potassium instead. Wait, I said the funny word, Chris, get the banana. Lady Windfrost. If I was to pick a skin that is the worst, it would not be this one. It is the second worst, but it is still a good skin. And at least her emote is pretty damn good. Dasha. It's a gamer girl. I like her headphones. She's pretty cool, especially her edit style. Oh my god, I love her edit style. I have nothing else to say. I just really like it. Also, the contrail's pretty nice. The Foundation Reforged. It's the worst skin of the past. I don't like the armor, and I don't like the Rock's face on him, and yeah, it sucks, but at least the emote is okay enough. I'm sorry, I just don't care. The Order Reforged. Okay, I like her better, but I don't care too much about this skin, to be perfectly honest. I would use it every now and then, but that's about it. At least this means I have every version of every 7 member that isn't the scientist. Elite Jules, best skin in the past. It's great. I love everything about her set. I love mechanical stuff, and I love my mechanical women. Is there anything else I need to say? And finally, Bugs Bunny. It's great, he's great, I love the entire set, and it works with my skin because it's all cell shaded stuff. My only complaint, however, is why the hell is he so big? The super styles this time around are just not that good in my opinion, but most super level styles I just don't like. And finally, they changed the way some extra styles work by letting them all be unlockable in Battle Royale, which I complained about last time, so thank you, Fortnite. Overall, the Battle Pass is great, but I can understand why people would not like it, as there is a lot of reused content or characters we already had, just remixed. It's not for everyone, which is completely fine. So now let's talk about the changes that happened on the map. Since new realities came in through the pure portals, we got some POIs that were vaulted, and those were Bumpy Bay, and the one that I'm actually sad about is Clausy Lodge, because I love that location. What replaced Bumpy Bay was Squibbly Shores, and oh my god, I love this location. This location features this pier and is really fun to start fights and farm rivalries, and there's also the 0-point shard here that gives you low gravity and it also acts as a perma riff and is really fun. And there's a lighthouse, which reminds me of chapter 2. That's it. That's all I wanted to say about that. And what replaced Clausy, rest in peace, is Frigid Forest, the home of the Ice King. This POI is also a pretty good one as well. I don't love it as much, but I do like it enough to land there. I'm not too much of a fan of castle POIs, but this one, it's a nice addition. And I'm going to get beat up for this one, but it is 10 times better than Polar Peak. Yeah, I said it. Polar Peak is not that peak. Oh yeah, there's also another perma riff nearby the castle that does the same thing as Squibbly Shores. Yeah, these are pretty cool. Now, 2 POIs did change, which was Classified Canyon turning into New Sanctuary and Lethal Labs turning into Dark Dominion. To be honest, since these are old POIs, slightly changed, there's not a lot to talk about with these ones, but Dark Dominion makes me really want to serve the queue. Now that we talked about these POIs, let's talk about the gameplay that this season started off with. Wait. Now I'm learning. Maybe if I have more to say after the next topic, it won't cut. Oh, put a sock in it, eman. Wait, you're the one who keeps cutting me off in these season reviews, Stickman eman? That's classified information, but that's besides the point. You shafted me from the last season review. You had Ella in there and not me, the one that's easier to draw. Look, man, I didn't want to make any skits for that season review. That one was like a last minute choice. Yeah, a last minute choice to not include the one that existed since the dawn of time. I carry this channel, me! And if you can't accept me, then call me your rival! Well, thanks for the transition, for letting us dive into the game. It's a new season, and that means a brand new loot pool. You thought I was gonna say battle pass there, did you? Because Epic loves to change this stuff, so let's go through the main mechanics and the base loot pool. The way to get on the map has changed again, and it looks like it's going to be a seasonal change going forward. No longer are we hanging 10, but Uncle Epic Games decided to take us to Legoland and give us our very own Legoland driver's license. At the start of every single match this season, we are given the seat of the bus driver on the battle bus. I think this is a very fun and low-key. It should stay. It's a great change of pace, and it's really fun when you're the one behind the wheel. Fortnite Showdown's main gimmick is the war between the Ice King and the wrong side of history. So basically, Fortnite saw Splatoon Splatfests and said, we can do that, but in our own way, and basically based an entire season about it. So why did I mention this? Well, it's because the next new gameplay mechanic is rivalries, and welcome back 2020. Rivalries, like what Stickman eman conveniently struck upon me, is the main gameplay mechanic, and is just a more fun bounty board in my opinion. Basically, you go to this board and you start a rivalry. It will pick someone on the opposite team of you that is close to you. If you kill them, you get credits. They kill you, they get credits. If either you die, the contract gets dropped, and the other person needs to pick it up in order to win the rivalry. Does that make sense? Once you get your rivalry credits, you can spend them on these boards for weapons, side grading, thank god, hills, straight up XP, and match long upgrades. You don't immediately get access to all of these though, but throughout the season, the more rivalries you win, the more perks that you can potentially buy. I find this system hella addictive and I like it so much. It hit me like Slurp hit the Fortnite island in 2018. These are amazing and I know that this is going to go away next season since it's so tied into the season's theme, but I would like for this mechanic and general idea for a season to come back one day. It is really fun and cool and I feel like it brought the community together for once. It's not your section yet, controversy, go away. Now on the gunplay, which like what I said last time, I will not go over very specifics about gun stats and all, but instead give you an overview look on the guns and my general opinions on them. So first off, let's give a farewell to some of the weapons and items that I will miss in the loot pool, which are all of the OG items. The lightning gun U was really fun, the wingsuit, and the ATKs. Oh, I guess I didn't really care about most of the vaults that happened on the season transition. Huh. Okay, new loophole time. In the AR category, we have a all hit scan, no red dot loot pool, which I would just like to say thank you, Epic. You actually know how to balance your game. I was always a no red dots or all red dots person. To see you guys actually pick one over the other makes me so happy. The games actually feel good and better to play. You actually now have other choices between ARs this season. I have been wanting this for so long. You guys do not understand. Next up is shotguns, which the air pump and the twin hammer stays, but we have a new shotgun called the Chaos Reloader, which is basically another pump shotgun. Historically, I usually hate pump like shotguns, but this one I actually kind of like, but I don't know how to exactly explain it. It's just really fun to use when you hit these shots, and when you hit these shots, yeah, hit those shots. The SMGs I still don't really use, but I do use them sometimes this season and they are nice. And we have a DMR, which, yeah, no thoughts. I'm not a sniper guy. Now finally, on to the non-guns. First we have the bouncing boom. Yeah, you guessed it, I never used it. We have two new traversal items, which in my opinions should be mainstays within Fortnite's loot pool, or at the very least frequent. First off is the Skyline Deployer, which this little doohickey is basically 12 portable zip lines that let you use a zip line. It's in the name. I find this personally really cool because you also get glider redeploy while using it. So yeah, it's a pretty awesome traversal item, but it doesn't compare to the overdrive grenade. After the entire movement debacle that happened last season over shockwaves, it was very clear that Epic Games had to do something, and god dang it, they cooked. The overdrive grenade is a nerf shockwave grenade that doesn't send you as far, but gives you another perk as well, which is the slap effect for around 10 seconds. This is great. I personally think they handled movement in the season very well, and I love the innovation that transpired at the start of the season. All around, these are pretty good changes, and I would like to see more of these made throughout the entire season. Hopefully they can continue this because it's pretty damn good. So let's see how they actually handle the updates this season. since that human idiot didn't give me much of the spotlight, I have to show off my amazing YouTube narration, even though we're basically the same person. So here we go! One of the season's gimmick is that each part is separated into acts, so that's the format that we'll be reviewing this season instead of just months like last season. The way we got new items is through this global rivalry system where both teams basically race to unlock these items, and they're global unlocks. So if you unlock something on the Ice King side, you unlock it for everyone. Okay, that's enough explaining. I don't know how Human E-Man did this. On the very first day of the season, Team Ice King already was in the lead and unlocked the first milestone, which was the Ice King Gauntlets. They were able to be grabbed by defeating the Ice King boss on the map, and they were pretty swagger. I liked them. Later that evening, Team Foundation reached their first milestone and added the 7 power gloves, which was floor loot, and it was basically a nerf finicky nitro fist. It's good for travel, but that's all I can give it. 2 days later, Team Ice Kings unlocked the Slapperoni Pizza to the loophole, which gave you 35 health and shield. That's also pretty nice. And then the next day, the 7 cannon that we tested during that last power hour of the last season was finally added to the loot pool, and I guess it's okay. I don't really like weapons like that. 4 days later, Team Ice King unlocked their third reward, which was a rift anomaly. It's called Stabilize the Anomaly, where a rift opens up on the map with a bunch of drones around it. Defeat them all and you get a random vaulted item from a previous season. The weapons that are in this first batch rotated in and out with other ones, so I won't comment on the updates to this. Just know that there are old weapons in the loot pool because of it, and I'm talking about stuff like the kneecapper and the typhoon blade and the kill switch revolver. You know, basically like weapons that you probably won't see coming back. The next day, those 30 Foundationists unlocked their third milestone, which was the Foundation's Rift Gun, which is pretty cool to see that one weapon from that trailer into the loot pool. What's my opinion on it? I don't know, I never used it. After this, April Fool's Day happened, and wow, that was a great event. During this event, we got a brand new weapon called the finger guns, which are literal finger guns, and for some reason is one of the best ARs in the game. I'm being so dead honest with you. Other things did happen in this update, with the addition of all player models having big heads, the addition of shoulder riding, which looks like it's going to be permanent, rideable llamas, and fall damage immunity. These changes were also applied on Reload and Blitz, but we'll discuss that later in the video in the other game mode section. Overall, this April Fool's Day update was really good, and I hope Epic continues to goof around with things like this in the future. After this date, Team Baby Eaters and Team Ice King both hit their 4th milestone by adding golden fishing spots and the enhanced harpoon gun that deals 100 damage when used on a player. And now, finally, we are on to our very first power hour, which basically brought back every single April Fool's update change and started you off with a self revive. Also, starting with this power hours now have 2 time slots instead of 1. This one was fun. I liked it a lot. Now, before we finish this section, I just want to point out everything that has been said so far has taken place within the span of 2 weeks. Yeah. This season was jam-packed, and I'm not going to have fun editing this video. 1 week later, both Team Foundation and Team Ice King finally hit their final milestone, with it being their respective vault key cards. And on the same day, we had our next power hour, which felt like it was celebrating OG Season 8 by unvaulting the Flint Knock, adding glider redeploy, and made the storm constantly move. Oh yeah, and the mandatory starting with self-revive, you can't forget that. Overall, Act 1 had constant content drops that we had to unlock throughout the weeks, and it was a very nice way of actually getting this content. Don't listen to Nick Aether. We worked for it, we earned it, and we got it in the loot pool. That's so sick. But there is 4 acts to this entire war, and in order to be on top, you gotta be one of the best. No, the best of the best. You gotta be elite. Two new forces join the fight on the Battle Royale island with the Elites, founded by former Imagine Order member Zadie, and two people from a familiar home base who are called Jess and Penny. So, we got brand new stuff to grind for and to unlock, so let's get right into it. Yep, let's get right into it. So, with Jess and Penny from Save the World coming to the island, we got a brand new POI called Builder's Barracks. It's a POI made out of entirely player-made structures, and that is awesome. Also, the location discover sound effect is from Save the World, and that's a very nice and cute touch. That wasn't the only POI that changed, because sadly, one of my favorites, Tip Top Terrence, was removed, neutered, and replaced with a landmark called Tree Chopped Timberland. It's okay, it just sucks that my goat is gone. Anyways, let's talk about the gameplay now that those are the only changes that happen on the map. Team Chudation was the first ones to unlock something this time around, with it being the Super Shredder Shotgun from Save the World. It's alright, I don't care for it that much. Then literally a few minutes later, Team Goat also hit their very first milestone, with it being the Hammer Revolver. It's pretty good. The next day we got an explosive power hour that brought back the Lawless Shockwave rocket launcher, started you off with bouncing boomsticks, and gave everyone glider redeploy. Wait, you must be... No way, no self-revive, unplayable, this game is dead. After that, Team Ice King unlocked their second milestone, which was unvaulting the recon scanner. I never pick up one of these unless I'm playing with people, and I've been barely playing with people. So, we have a power hour now called the Exotic Cube Rifle Power Hour, which added the Exotic Cube Rifle. I will rant about you later. And say it with me, folks. A self-revive device. Thank you. Another thing that happened today was Team Foundation unlocking the second milestone, which expanded the Builder Barracks POI. Quoting the wise words of a certain blue robot, "Good job, Commander." Then, 5 days later, the Hop Rock Cube Rifle was unvaulted. Yeah, remember when I said I was going to rant about this later? Yeah, now's the time. We don't waste time here on the eman Plus YouTube channel. So, you're telling me this gun gives you the Hop Rock effect and lets you shoot cubes that does blast radius damage 70 a pop? You gotta be out of your mind if you think that is balanced. This should not have left testing. It's so bad in zero build. Who signed off on this? I just can't believe it left testing like this. But I won't get too deep into this. We gotta continue doing this video. It's naturally super long anyways. Another thing that happened today, because it was an update day, was a brand new landmark that rifted into this reality called Elite Outpost. It's an alright landmark, nothing too special. It's near Wonky Land, so it's never where I am. So next up, Team Ice King unlocked the Affinity Blade from Chapter 1 Season 7 as their third milestone, which spawns in as a Rift Anomaly. And then the next day, Team Foundation unlocked the next milestone, which is the Cube Rifle. I'm not going on that rant about you again. We had another power hour based on the Foundation that guaranteed to stabilize the Anomaly Rift Anomaly. It started you off with a boom sniper rifle, the Foundation's power gloves, and this thing can't die. And on that same day, both Team Fartdation and Team Ice King unlocked their 4 milestones. Team Ice King's unlocking slipstreams across Frigid Forest, and the Vortex Beam being opened permanently in New Sanctuary. God, I'm so tired of that cube rifle. We need some heroes to destroy this evil. Well, we must start with Act 3, so let's call in some heroes on the island and hope to slurp that they can answer the call. Huh. So he's not gonna cut in? Weird, because I was cut off this time on the transition. Anyways, in Act 3, a new side has joined Team Paid Act. I'm gonna cut myself off this time. Isn't it kind of weird that every single time Epic adds a new fraction to this war, it gets added to Team Blockhead? I feel like that's kind of weird. Maybe, perhaps, why didn't they give the Ice King at least 2 new allies to make it feel like it's not one-sided? Splatoon handled this way better during Splatoon 2's Final Fest Chaos vs. Order. Okay, I'm getting off topic. A new ally has joined the fray, and that is the heroes of Overwatch. Does that mean Overwatch is back? No. This update also added changes to Zero Build, so let's go over that quickly with my opinions. Glider redeploy was added, and that was a hella good change. Keep that. You can now infinitely sprint with only your pickaxe out, and that is also a really nice change too, but too bad it's kind of useless right now because of the plague that has hit the loot pool. Siphon is back, but it is only applied to Overshield. I can live without this, but it's also a pretty good change. Wow, we are 3-0 right now. Pocket items replace the builds button, with everyone starting off with a shockwave grenade, which you can swap out with a med mist grenade or shield bubbles through vending machines, which is amazing. Epic, thank you so much. Every match you start with a pistol and a single mini, which I can live without it. We don't really need this. You can cut your glider now, which is really funny and nice risk because you can hurt yourself depending on when you cut. And finally, fall damage exists, but you can't die from it. You just do a little animation and is left with a single piece of HP. This is objectively a bad change. Even as a person that always dies due to fall damage because I am an idiot, it is still a bad change because dying is half the battle. So yeah, this can be removed except for when you cut your glider. Keep it only for that, please and thank you. I really like the animation. Okay, on to the actual update. We got POI updates that made some POIs represent familiar maps from Overwatch. We also got some new landmarks that represent launch pads and watch points from the game. For this update, in terms of weapons, we got 4 new toys to mess around with. First off, we got the jetpack being unvaulted and thrown into the loot pool. Next, we got the Cadence staff, a healing item based on the Overwatch hero Mercy. This staff will heal you and your other teammates, but not only that, it lets you play support by buffing your teammates' damage output. Finally, if you jump in the air and are falling down a certain distance, it will make you glide down to safety. Now, the 2 next weapons are, how do I describe them? Oh, I know. Cancer. Let's start with the lesser of 2 evils, which is the overclocked pulse rifle. It is a hit scan AR that has a very high DPS and gives you the overdrive effect when equipped. How can you tell me that this is balanced? It melts people to shred. It's basically an SMG. Not only that, but it's so common. Like, what? Again, if you have to nerf something multiple times, maybe it was unbalanced, but that's not. No. Next up, we have the Pulse Pistols, a gun inspired by the Overwatch hero Tracer, or as I like to call the weapon, Tracer's Mega Pissers. These things are really cool because they put you in the literal eyes of Tracer, being the first ever Battle Royale gun to be in first person. Thank your founding father Ballistic for this one. And it doesn't end there. You can literally play as Tracer because the rewind functions and you can dash with the weapon. It's so cool, but oh my god, this thing shreds. But that's not the problem I have with this gun. It's the fact that there's so many glitches and exploits with this weapon. Like, look, this is broken. You can't argue with that. This is broken, dude. I love broken things, but I have to talk about the season in an objective way. This is not good for the season. These weapons can be fun to use, but objectively, they are way too broken for the balance of the game. It's just so weird, especially since they can't vault them because they are a part of the collab. They have to vault it or disable literally everything around them. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let's actually start talking about the milestones achieved. The majority of these do not impact gameplay as much, so instead of going over them in the exact order and time frames of the unlocks, we'll just talk about them. Either way, we kind of unlock them at the same time anyways. Payloads dropped onto the island with a rift anomaly where you're literally doing a Overwatch game. I'm not joking, it's straight up a Overwatch game. You have to escort the payload. It's pretty cool, and you get all of the overpowered stuff with it. Yay! The Overwatch dropship milestone lets the dropship spawn in when the match starts, and it has the chance to land at one of the 4 launchpad landmarks, and it gives you a ton of loot. The next batch of milestones just adds some more loot to the Overwatch chests that are found around the map, and the final batch, sprays. That's awesome. So now, that was all 3 of the main acts, and there is one more act to talk about, which I'm not going to talk about because it's the epilogue. So instead, let's talk about May 30th, because what happened on May 30th is Community Day. It was pretty fun, I won't lie. So, on Community Day, it lasted for exactly 24 hours, or to be exact, a day. When you logged into Community Day at any time within those 24 hours, you got the Community Umbrella with a Community Umbrella style, the Silver Surfer wrap that was not available to claim at all ever since Chapter 2 Season 4, and if you were a Battle Pass owner, you got the Workplace Foundation style. And that's not even the amount of wars. There was also Twitch drops throughout that day, and if you won a Victory Royale, you got a pickaxe, a back bling, and another wrap that will be granted to you a few days later. You got a reward if you gifted something to a friend, and it was just a full day of festivities. 5 times rivalry credits, supercharged XP for the rest of the season if you logged in that day, blue chests everywhere, golden fireworks that let you shoot your name up in the sky, finger guns, pizza. It was amazing. This was also the day that the epilogue began, which at the time of recording this video, Ice King's in the lead. I hope this doesn't date that. And finally, we also had our final power hour of the season, which gave you the exotic cube rifle. I'm fine with it this time. It was a joke. And Infinity Blades in chess. Yeah, crazy. This Community Day was so fun. I'm so on. This was such a breath of fresh air. I absolutely hate the mobility right now in this season, but Community Day did make me play the game a little bit as like my final push for the season. I got the Grandmaster umbrella that day. It was awesome, and I hope that Epic continues to do this because it's what the community needs. We need to come together and stop all of this infighting because it's insane out there. I just want you guys to know that I'm recording this after all the Chris doxing stuff happened, so awkward. Anyways, with that being said, let's just go on to the next section, which is about the story. This is supposed to be the story season, but where's the story? I'm just messing with you, just kidding. We did get some story this season. Throughout this season, the Dark Voyager was going through many realities, including ones that we can currently visit in-game. This includes Reality Unknown, featured in Fortnite OG, Reality 337, featured in Fortnite Reload's Elite Stronghold map, and Home Base within Fortnite saved the world. He is piecing together the 0 point throughout all of his traveling and has almost completed the mission. Meanwhile, the 7 are finally learning about what happened to all of the members. The Visitor, Reality Zero, Scientist, and Origin were all consumed by Chrome. The Paradigm and the Imagined sadly passed away, and the Order and Foundation are currently alive on the island. But there is one more individual that Amy, the scientist's personal assistant, mentioned, which is the Singularity. And her status is that she is incoming. That's all that we really got from the main storyline that I could piece together, but I would like to mention the Save the World people because they also had a pretty cute story. It was basically you helping Jess and Penny return home, and the quest was so cool because you actually had to collect blue glow in order to power up Lars's van. It's a nice little piece of fan service and a way to show respect to the founding father Save the World. And since I'm done with the story, basically, it's time for the next section. Last season, we immediately hopped on to the collabs, game modes, and other categories, but this time, I would like to have an extra section for this. It sucks, but it is the reason why I have to say that this makes or breaks the entire season, and that is the controversy. Before the season started, Epic Games announced that they was going to change the conversion rate of V-Bucks at the start of Chapter 7 Season 2. About 5 days later, Tim Sweeney released an internal memo about laying off over 1,000 employees across the entirety of Epic Games. If you are not new to this channel, ever since this happened, you know I have made time to at least mention this in almost every single video, and this video will be treated the same. The reason why I have to mention this in this season review is because of how much it tore the player base. This has changed what could have been considered a top 5 season for me to be seen as lesser because of the choices that the company made throughout the season. Like I said at the start, I like to talk about every aspect of the game. This is an aspect of the game. My heart goes out to all the employees that were affected during the layoffs, and I hope that you all find good jobs elsewhere in this industry where sadly you can get fired for no matter what you do or how well you do. The events of the layoffs impacted the way I viewed this season. I will admit it, and I personally just cannot get over that. However, I want people to realize that there are still plenty of amazing staff working at Epic Games, making the game how it is today. But I hate to say it, doesn't all of this good stuff happening make it feel like they're doing damage control to get us on our good side? I don't know, but I hope the game continues into this community forward approach as it really needs it right now. We need this community together now more than ever, and we need to let our voices be heard. While the layoffs did happen, I personally still see a bright future in this game that I fell in love with since Chapter 2 Season 3. Fortnite is a special game, a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I'm happy to be on it. I just hope they don't screw it up anymore because this is a major mess up. Now that I got that out of the way, let's start with the section that doesn't impact this season review, but is something I still want to talk about, and that is the miscellaneous category. Just like last season, this section will go over every single collab that has happened in the game in order, and we'll talk about the other modes if they got updates. Starting with Cliff from Crimson Desert. Next, we got the MCU versions of Iron Man and Captain America, followed by Jon Snow, the Night King, and this girl that I'm not pronouncing the name of from Game of Thrones. Next, we got the playable character from the video game called Peak, and then we got Wave 2 of the Looney Tunes collab with Donald Duck and Lola Bunny. We got Megara, Hades, and Hercules from the Disney movie, and Super Meat Boy. I had to do it like that. Next up, we have, I'm skipping you guys. And then we got Buff Perry and Dr. Doofenshmirtz from the hit show Phineas and Ferb, and Bugs and Zurg from the hit movie Toy Story. Since Chappie Roan's festival season came to a close, we got a new festival talent with Laffy hitting the island with her amazing jazz. After that, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin and Liv Morgan from the WWE, Somerset Reddish and Moxie as the group Triple Threat, The Traveler from Kronos A New Dawn, Dart Monkey from the Balloons Tower Defense 6, and Ben and Gwen from Ben 10. After all of this, we moved to Star Wars Day and we got a Star Wars The Clone Wars collab, and for Mother's Day we got the Fox collab featuring Linda from Bob's Burgers, Peggy from King of the Hill, and Lois from Family Guy. Last but not least, we got Adam Smasher from Cyberpunk 2077. Since I didn't mention them during the Overwatch section, we also got Diva and Genji in the game alongside of Tracer and Mercy, the British rapper Easy Kid, a small Lego Batman collab, a pen and ink variant of Batman, and finally, a pen and ink variant of The Mandalorian. If I forgot any collabs, I will put them on the screen right here. Again, you have motor skills, I trust you. During the layoffs, we also got an announcement that 3 game modes will be removed. Ballistic and Fortnite Festival Battle Stage passed away on April 16th, and Rocket Racing will not be removed until October this year. Currently, the mode earns you no XP whatsoever and ranked rewards are gone, meaning if you are playing Rocket Racing at this point, like me kinda sometimes maybe, you are playing for the love of the game. And finally, the UEFN tools to make tracks have been made available in regular UEFN, and creators still have time to transfer their maps. Fortnite OG went into Season 8, and yes, Season 8, I don't really know what else to say. And Fortnite Festival added pro vocals, and man, I love it so much. You guys saw the YouTube short, it was so damn fun. Lego Fortnite also had a second Ninjago update and a Star Wars update, that's pretty cool. And Reload got a brand new map called Elite Stronghold, and it's alright, it's nothing too special, but at least it isn't Surf City. We also got a brand new game mode called Arenas, and oops, it's dead. It is a box fights mode, and yeah, no one really plays it. I don't know why they decided to make this mode. And finally, the big one, Save the World, the original mode of Fortnite, after being promised for almost a decade, has finally went free to play. There's a new hub world, it's easier to level up, and there was a brand new limited time event about the Dark Voyager visiting. It's just so cool that they are finally showing Save the World the love that it deserves, and I hope that they continue developing Save the World as time goes on. So now that I think I said everything that has happened in the season, what are my thoughts? Fortnite Chapter 7 Season 2 Showdown was a content-packed season, and it did a lot of things right, including community events, content drops, and so much more. It could be a contender for top 5 seasons of all time, but because of everything surrounding the season, like the layoffs and things in the game like the busted, unbalanced weapons, objectively brings this season down. I love that they have a clear direction for the game right now, and nothing can really be perfect, which is why I also would like to give this season an 8 out of 10. It actually makes me want to update my ranking for Season 1 from an 8 to a 7, because Season 1 is objectively worse than this season. This season is really good. Chapter 7 hit the ground running and hasn't lost its energy just yet, and I am proud of the dev team for keeping me hooked. With the Dark Voyager almost holding infinite power within reach, old characters coming back, and a whole slew of returns with new ideas, I think the perfect word to describe this season is unvaulted. Get it? Because the unvaulting event is going to happen soon. I'm so funny, guys. I'm so funny. Did you get it? Did you get it, guys? Did you get it?